So I'm still in the process of cleaning up the basement. I've gotten all of the big ticket items out, like the air conditioner, garbage cans, lawn chairs, stuff like that. So it's looking a lot more empty and cleaner. I'm gonna leave that dehumidifier set up, and I'm actually gonna move that closer to the inner area. I was feeling around the logs, and seems the dampness is mostly away from the door area. So the door is over there behind me. In this area closest to the street, which is east, seems to be where the dampness is concentrated. So I moved the dehumidifier as close as I can to the end. I might try to move it all the way in. Problem is I don't have a hose that's long enough. Oh, I might be able to get it there, but it's kind of like, if the hose is not long enough, I might empty it into a bucket. And since I'm coming down here every day anyway, I'll just take the bucket out and empty it outside every day. So there was a lot of glass on the ground. I'm still picking up pieces here and there, but I think I got most of it. But basically this whole box is full of broken glass, and this bag is about half full. I don't even know if that can be recycled. I guess I'll look that up. Otherwise, it'll just go in the garbage. This is the bark that I've taken off so far. There's still some bark I have to take off above the water container. I wanted to get a tarp to cover this before I do that. This bark, I don't know, maybe I should just leave it on because it's been that way for like how many ever years, right? It's like stuck on, it's like glued on there. And if moisture hasn't gotten in between up to now, is it gonna get in under there in the future? I should probably take it off. So I'm probably gonna try with a chisel. They have special tools for debarking, but they're like two-handed, so it will be very hard to get that kind of tool up in this area. I could just buy it just to do the bottom and like a little bit on the sides, but I don't know if I'm gonna spend, I don't know, I might still buy it. I might just buy it because I'm gonna need one anyway. If I order that, it's gonna take a week to come, so I'll start with the chisel. So I'm gonna do another scan, pick up any glass I missed, and then pick up as much of the bark and organic matter as I can, because that'll just rot and go into the ground, and I want to minimize that. And then I'll probably pick up some of the loose pieces of rock, and then I think we're gonna be good. So the reason why I'm trying to clear the floor is because, I mean, A, I just want the place to look clean, but B, after they do the floors, I want to grade this thing. I've never seen water come in here, like even on torrential downpours. I came down here and I don't see any water pooling, so I'm not super worried about that. But like, for example, if my water container was to explode, you know, I don't want it to dump 50 gallons of water into the ground. I mean, it will, but right now what happens is all the water goes right to the middle. So there's a slope from that wall coming to the middle and slope from that wall coming to the middle. So I want to try to grade this thing so it grades out the door. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it because this concrete block is a little bit high. In order for me to do a proper grade of the whole thing, I would have to bring in fill dirt, which I don't want to do. So I'm gonna try to get it to a slope that goes to this pipe here, which was put there for either the water overflow or some kind of drainage purpose. I'm gonna have to dig under the ground to see where this pipe goes, just to make sure it's been done right. But even if it hasn't been done right, I can always extend it and do what I need to do with it to fix it. So yeah, that's the plan. Basically grade the whole bathroom, the basement that goes towards that pipe area, and then any kind of excess water that will enter will hopefully eventually drain out that pipe. Man, I hate working down here. It's weirdly satisfying as I pick up each piece of glass and I see them disappear from the floor little by little. I'm not looking for any more glass. If I happen to come across one as I'm doing more cleaning, I'll put it in the bag, in the glass bag. But now I am trying to focus on everything from those two columns to the wall. It doesn't look too bad, but this is my place and I want to do as good of a job as I can. So I have this it's like a dirt sifter, so I'm gonna start shoveling kind of the top quarter to half an inch from here and put it through the sifter, and the sifter will separate the bigger rocks from dirt and smaller gravel and whatnot. The idea is that I can take the bigger rocks, put them in the cart, take them out first, put it in a big pile. I can use that for something else later. The dirt that's left over, it's gonna have some organic material in it, so I'm gonna scrape that again after I'm done with the big stuff, throw it in the cart, and then dump it in the woods somewhere. Do I have to do it like that? No, I don't think so. I can just dump everything into the cart at once and throw it in the woods. But for some reason, it feels right to me to do the sifting. And I think if I didn't do it, I would be like, it'll just like bug me forever. So I don't really have a great reason for doing it that way. I don't really need to save the rocks or anything. But that's what we're gonna do. I decided to put on my mask because shoveling was kicking up a lot of dust. So there's no sill. That's the way it is. Alright, so here's the kind of bigger stuff, at least what this sifter considers the bigger stuff. And there's the smaller stuff. So while I was sifting, all of this glass I was able to separate. I'm not sure if glass is biodegradable, but it just feels good to separate it. After I go dump that stuff, I'm gonna scoop up like the top layer of this finer stuff, because that's gonna have some of the bark, like the more fine organic matter mixed in there. So I'll dump the top layer of this stuff, and then I'm gonna move the dehumidifier into this area, and then we're gonna be done for today. So basically I got 1/3 of the basement completely the way I want it. Well, not really. I still have plans to do like a vapor barrier and stuff like that, but completely the way I want it for now. Let's put it that way. All right, so I've done as much as I want to do. From the 2 columns to the wall, it's pretty clean on the ground. I think eventually I'm gonna dig like a little deeper, maybe an inch deeper, so I can get any kind of like things that can rot out of the ground as much as I can. I'll fill it with like gravel or topsoil, compacting as I go. We're probably gonna do some kind of a vapor barrier, which means plastic, but I have to kind of research that more because the water can get trapped under the plastic. Well, that's what you want it to do, but basically you don't want water to come in through the wall and get on top of the plastic, because that will make the basement more humid and have more moisture. You basically want any water that's coming from under the ground to be trapped by the plastic so that it can't come up. I thought about it a little bit, and I think what I'm gonna do is because these walls there's like holes everywhere, and obviously water can get in. So I'm thinking I'll do like plastic, but I'll leave about a foot or 2 feet away from the wall. So there'll still be moisture coming from under the ground in that 1 foot spot, but everything like in the middle, there'll be no moisture coming up because it'll get trapped by the plastic. But if water does come through the wall, it'll be in this area where it can evaporate and hopefully get caught by the dehumidifier. That's really the best way I can think of doing this without having to completely seal off everything, which means pointing these walls, which I'll eventually do, or replacing it with concrete, which I don't want to do. So I think like as a stopgap measure, we'll clean everything out, dig like an inch deep, do the topsoil, compact it down, put the plastic over that, then put gravel over that. And as I was saying, leaving 1 foot of plastic away from the wall. And I think I'm gonna have to call that good for the next X amount of years. And we'll keep monitoring it, so if it does feel more humid down here because I made a mistake, I can always fix it. That's the great thing about owning a home, is if something goes wrong or you make a mistake, you fix it. Okay, so I put the dehumidifier here. When I like cleaned this place up, I noticed the dirt is like actually quite dry, which is good. There are a few spots where it looks damp, but I think now that I moved the dehumidifier over to this area, those spots should dry up in the coming weeks. So because it's kind of far away from the door now, the hose that I had, it didn't want to like quite reach out the door, so I did stick it into this pipe that was here. I didn't bother to dig up the ground over there to see where it goes, but if water comes back out of there, then I'm gonna have to find some different solution. There's a bug crawling over there. I'm kind of thinking if I should kill it or not. Maybe it heard me. Oh, there it is. It looks like one bug carrying another bug or something to that effect. We'll let that one go. All right, so yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that drain to see if water comes back out of it. And here you can see all the glass that came out. It's Sam's Cola, which is the Walmart brand of Coca-Cola. I think it's pretty good. This I don't think I mean, I'm very happy with these Sam's Colas. they are much cheaper than Coca-Cola, and I don't think the taste is all that different. Like I like this more than I like Pepsi. I bet in a blind test I would fail, but that's psychologically that's the way I feel.